TikTok could be officially being banned in 2025 in the US, and brands like Broken Planet are growing with millions of views on each of their content on Instagram. Today we're gonna dive into the secret strategy of Broken Planet from the owners, Lukas and Indre. Most brand owners tend to focus only on the drop day and they forget totally about the periods and still maintaining them when they are not dropping. They don't think about the periods when they are not dropping at all to sustain the consistency of their growing revenue. We're gonna talk about 1. What's Broken Planet's bigger cause, purpose, vision, and motivation behind the brand, and how it affects the approach to the brand as a whole. 2. How Broken Planet, Lukas and Indre position their unique brand identity. 3. How they are leveraging outside influencers, content creators to fuel traffic onto their own page. 4. How they are building an offline community that turns into an online community that turns into digital content. 5. We're in aesthetics economy and how it's helping brands stand out. 6. The community strategy. So what's Broken Planet's bigger purpose? What's their statement? What is their mission? Here you can see our goal is to undergo 1 or 2 missions a year to help vulnerable communities around the world. To achieve this, we have built a team of volunteers that provide amazing research and work to plan these missions effectively. For transparency, we will physically go and document each mission to be published with as much information as possible. Killing reefs. What is killing reefs? Like climate change, overfishing, direct human impact. I saw them for the first time. I was like, Broken Planet? I didn't even know the meaning behind it. I was just like, oh shit, this shit is tough. They even have this new Instagram page called Broken Planet Foundation, and as you can see, Broken Planet donated 100k to restore coral reefs in the Bahamas. Okay, when you're just starting out, you might not be able to do this stuff, right? This is for like the big brands out there, the legacy brands out there, that you're in this for long term. But the fact that they started with this sort of mission to like impact the world like this, and you know, it really aligns with their brand identity, Broken Planet, because our planet is you know, breaking down essentially, where this fucking earth, you know, this rock is totally dying, and their brand name is all around that. Me personally, I didn't know they were doing this. I just, you know, really bumped into this recently, and I've been following this brand for quite long already, and I just got to see this just recently. So how they position their brand identity, as you can see here, on a lot of contents, you can see the same models again and again. They have like a full-time team of creators that became this image for them, while of course sometimes you might see, you know, other creators, you know, other models on their stuff here, but the consistency of the brand image, of the brand identity is there. The Nichio and China, they have like their own page. They are fashion influencers of their own. That is their brand identity. It's very simple. It's the consistency of the brand's identity, of the people that are constantly showing up, showing their faces on their brand. How they are leveraging outside influencers and content creators to fuel traffic onto their own page. So when you take a look at their TikTok, obviously you see, you know, very similar content like on Instagram here. It's working well for them. But when you just go to TikTok and you search for Broken Planet, you start seeing videos from different people, not only the Broken Planet's TikTok itself, but you can see, you know, how other people are even doing reviews here. They send their shit to influencers or content creators. I rather to call them new age content creators nowadays, aka like new age artists. They don't need to really have, you know, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 of followers, because you know this personally. Nowadays, you don't really need an account with thousands of followers in order to reach 1 million views. Like the algorithm been changing, right? Nowadays, it's only about the creator and only about the video, individual video itself. Go ahead, find content creators that you really fuck with and your brand aligns with. Send them the pieces, build connections with them, hop on a call with them, talk about some content strategy, talk about, you know, what they're planning to do about the content, with the content. Because when you do this, they will be constantly talking about the brand, they will be sharing it, and they will become a part of the team. For how they are building an offline community that turns into an online community that turns into digital content. They just recently did this London Broken Planet to scratch and you win something, and they did this community connection really well. And when you take a look at their YouTube, Broken Planet Lithuania shut down here, and it went really crazy. Like as you can see here, it was like some sort of party. When you are able to connect with people offline, and if you can, build a community offline as well. When you have that type of opportunity, go there. Because at the end of the day, all the followers online, yeah, like that's nice. But when you are able to connect with people offline as well, that just gives your brand a leverage compared to all the other brands there. It gives you a leverage of being able to more deeply connect with your audience, because it's in person. They see you, they see how you express yourself in real life, they see what is going on with you, they are there with you, they feel you way more deep than just a connection through pixels through social media. Now, I'm not saying that you totally neglect social media, because that social media is very important factor of every business nowadays. But if you have the opportunity to do something offline, try that. 5, we're in aesthetics economy and how it's helping brands stand out. If you treat your product and your storytelling, aka your visuals, as art, you will stand out. Totally. Right? And by storytelling, a lot of people get this wrong, that storytelling is just words. But when it comes to like your fashion brand particularly, your visuals, the vibe, how cool your shit is the storytelling itself. Imagine 2 types of storytellings. One, you have a storytelling where it's movie based, you go to like cinema, but then you have just like aesthetic storytelling where it's just cool pictures. That's a different form of storytelling. It's still a storytelling because it gives you a certain vibe, and that's fundamental to storytelling. If it gives you a certain feeling, it storytells. The more you take the time to make a really wow factor design and design a dope clothing piece, the easier it's gonna be to create marketing and visuals around that product. Not only this helps with being able to charge premium for your clothes, it also helps your brand to stand out, as the product creates the brand identity itself. So if you want to get more inspiration, besides Pinterest and all these other pages, try Aesthetics Wiki. Okay, if you go to find aesthetics here and you go to list A to Z, you're gonna have all aesthetics available, like everything. Lo-fi, metal, Memphis rap, nerd, like you have all types of aesthetics here. And I use this page quite often for like an inspiration reference purposes. So if you want to build like a reference board, try Aesthetics Wiki. 6, the community strategy that you need to apply ASAP. As you do more and more stuff, you're gonna bump into an actual mission that you might want to share with the world. Maybe Broken Planet didn't start off by knowing that they want to, fix this Broken Planet thing like right away. Maybe it was in their subconscious. Or maybe they started with that sort of identity already right at the get-go. Right? But what is it for you? How are you gonna start? What is your mission? We're all at a place where we might not want to be at. We all want to be greater. We want to be more resilient, more confident, more outgoing, and enabled to communicate our thoughts and feelings. We're all in this together. And when you approach the creation of your brand mindset of impacting a culture, impacting a world, the money is gonna flow to you. You start behaving in a way where your designs start to be better. You start approaching your own content more in a different way, in a more unique way. You start taking designs into like a totally different fucking realm, into different level, just because the way you approach the community, the way you approach this brand thing is totally different. So there's Shoots in London, another great community-based brand. As you can see here, they met, offline here, and they're doing a lot of fitness stuff and really, meeting at the store and doing some challenges here. Nice stuff, like a great way to really interact and engage with your community. Now, in regards of your skill set, you need to go back to the drawing board sometimes, because there's a huge gap between an idea and a realization of that idea. There's a skill set gap. You might have a certain taste, inspiration going on in your head, but that doesn't mean your current level of self, your current level of skill allows to take that taste into a reality. So be patient. If this is something that's bothering you, clearly you might not really love fashion and designing or creativity as it is, because you are this consumer, right? We're consumers, we consume a lot of stuff. You have this taste, you have this cool shit about yourself. Maybe you wear cool clothes, but that doesn't mean you're gonna be able to produce cool clothes as well, all at the same exact level. There's always going to be a gap between what the idea is and if your skill set allows it. The philosophy here is to work on yourself. That directly is going to result in your band being better. For example, 1, you learn more about fabrics. 2, you learn more about Photoshop, Procreate, whatever you design it.
A secret technique that makes the Yeezy Gap hoodie look so fluffy. The common misconception is that in order to make a hoodie look more fluffy, you need to make it heavier, but that's just half the story. At some point, the fabric will just get too heavy and simply sag due to its weight. The answer is a technique that requires 2 different fabrics. On the outside, Kanye used a conventional 400 GSM fleece fabric, but on the inside, you'll find an added layer of jersey cotton, a fabric usually only used for t-shirts. This added layer provides structure necessary for the cloudy look without adding too much weight.
3, you're probably gonna have to learn more about business as a whole, because fashion designing and fashion business are 2 different things. 4, maybe getting some of your current unhealthy, unstable relationship in check. 5, maybe your physical health is fucked up and you can't do shit because of that. 6, maybe you still have some sort of trauma as when you were a kid, and that is unconsciously bothering you and stopping you to do the work. Last word, okay? Our work works. What I mean by that is that through this career thing, through pursuing something, you become greater. You go through a self-discovery process and you learn more about yourself as to what you like, what you don't like, and so on. That's gonna help you direct the path towards your vision even more. You have some creators doing the traditional, get ready with me stuff. And me personally, I don't feel confident doing that, right? Like where you just put a tripod and a phone in front of you and you just, do a traditional get ready with me stuff. If I were to do it, and again, I learned this about myself throughout the process, I do it in a more artistic way like this. Cinematic, very chill way, like not traditional at all. Nothing with like a normal just tripod and a camera like a phone, but like a more unique artistic touch to it. What is it for you? You need to know about yourself. No one knows yourself more than you, right? And there is no wrong or right path, but if you don't start anywhere, then you're fucked. This is a concept of evolving, right? How can I evolve further than this existing idea? How can I take this idea into the concept of my own personality, of what I like? How can I make it more interesting in my own way? It's adapting this constant awareness, observing mindset of self, where you see how your mind, body, and soul reacts to the external stuff. And rather than taking that reaction as permanent, instead you learn from that reaction. You learn how your body, mind, and soul reacts to the external stuff, and you learn from that. You learn about yourself like that. And it's being able to observe and self-analyze that. It's all chemistry, man. Like everything around us is interconnected, and that's the beauty of fucking life, okay? Now, the simplest question to ask in regards of your work and craftsmanship is if you'd be willing to do it for free or for the rest of your fucking life. If the answer is no, then you should try something else, and that's okay. Life is about continuous, ongoing, everlasting self-exploration in that way.